Namaste, myself JVN Dr. K.K. Chaudhary, Faculty of Education and Methodology, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University, subject Pedagogy of Biology, and today we will discuss about the lecture method. So first we will define what is a lecture. Very simply, a lecture is an organized verbal presentation of subject matter, often augmented by visual aids. According to Balig, 1972, a lecture is a period of more or less uninterrupted talk from a teacher. A more detailed definition is found in the Percival and Ellington 1988, who states that a lecture is a didactic instructional method involving one-way communication from the active presenter to the more or less passive audience. Perhaps unkindly, we should also include the student who describe a lecture as an occasion to sleep whilst someone talk. This is the lecture. Now the research on the lecture. Much has been written about lecture and lecturing, and it may help our understanding if we examine briefly what research has established. Three main trends may be noted. The first, comparing their effectiveness with the other method. The second, detailing the view of the student and lecturer. And the third, focusing on the learning in lectures. So what does the literature tell us about the lecture? In comparing the lecture with other method, we find that lecture is the most common method used in the universities. It is as effective as other methods for imparting knowledge up to comprehension level, but less effective for higher cognitive levels. It is less effective for teaching practical skills than demonstration and laboratory work. Discussion are more effective than lectures for changing attitudes. In spite of these limitations, a consensus of authorities reports the lecture has a place in higher education, but should not be only method used. Studies of view on the lecture reveals that both student and lecturers place high value on clarity of presentation, suitability of structure, and generation of student interest. In addition, lecture is popular with lecturers, students, and the administrators. Then, learning from the lectures. One way of improving lecture is to examine the process of teaching and learning that take place. For in doing with this, we find there are several techniques and skill for enhancing this method. So how to student learn in lectures? Very simply, students learn in two ways. Firstly, from the information presented by the lecturers, and secondly, by the way they process and restructure the information received to suit their own interpretation. Thus, the degree of understanding will vary according to the way of information is transmitted, received, and processed. A lecture can facilitate learning by being well structured, interesting, and meaningful, or it can inhibit learning by being confused, boring, and meaningless. Let us examine this process a little deeper. A lecture sends information in many ways: verbal, through explanation, definition, example, description, or comments; extraverbals, through the lecturer's vocal qualities such as clarity, audibility, fluency, and speed; non-verbal, through gesture, facial expression, or body movement; visual, through the use of visual aids. Then the skill of lecturing. We have some reservation about using the word lecture for it. It can conjure up a droning lecture and sleepy, passive students. We tend to agree with George Brown, a well known authority in the Britain on teaching, who preferred to use the word explaining for lecturing. He described explaining as giving understanding to others, for it consists of a series of short statements containing principle, illustrations, definition, and qualifications, all of which are well organized and spoken clearly. It follows that the explaining must be appropriate for the particular learners and suitable for the time available. The process of explaining has a number of important characteristics such as clarity, organization, emphasis, orientation, example, and feedback. Let us discuss this point in detail. First is the clarity. This is promoted by using explicit, smoothly flowing language and avoiding vagueness. It means defining new terms, clarifying key points, paraphrasing, and giving direction on learning tasks, as well as speaking clearly, audibly, and not too fast. Second is the organization. This call for a sound structure and a logical approach in which essential points are concisely covered, key link and the relationship are indicated, and good use is made of time. A well organized explanation will show evidence of sound preparation and will not attempt to cover everything. Next, the emphasis. This is the concerned with the highlighting of important elements and details. Vocal emphasis involving tone, pitch, volume, and pause, together with gesture, eye contact, and pointing are way of giving emphasis in explanation, and these can be augmented by visual and handouts. Orientation. This means helping to promote learning in several ways. For example, in outlining the structure of a topic, when opening a lecture, introducing a new theme, giving direction and advice on what to expect, or using the key structure move that signal what is happening during the lecture. Examples. These are the essential in explanation, but they need to be apt and interesting within the student's repertoire of knowledge and with sufficient frequency and variety. A typical example, comparison, and problem examples should also be given to enhance comprehension. Feedback. Continuous monitoring is an important feature of explanation, for without it there be no certainty that understanding has resulted. Feedback is initiated by lecturer asking questions, inviting queries, seeking interpretation and problem for clarification. There are some advantage and disadvantage of the lecture method also. The following are the basic advantages of the lecture method. It provides an economical and efficient method for delivering substantial amount of information to large number of students. It affords a necessary framework or overview for subsequent learning. Example, reading assignment, small group activity or discussion. It offers current information from many sources. It provides a summary or synthesis of information from different sources. It creates interest in subject as lecturers transmit enthusiasm about their discipline. There are disadvantages to using the lecture method as primary teaching method. These are an effective lecture require both extensive research and preparation and effective delivery skill to maintain student attention and motivation. In addition, lecture has other drawbacks. It does not afford the instructor with way to provide student with individual feedback. It is difficult to adapt to individual learning differences. It may fail to promote active learning unless other teaching strategies such as questioning and problem solving activities are incorporated into the lecture. It does not promote the independent learning. This is all about the lecture method. This system is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you. Thank you very much.